We are discussing chapter number 5, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife. Natural vegetation and wildlife. So we'll take these in two parts. First we'll discuss about natural vegetation and then we'll go to wildlife. The basic thing is that whenever you move around, you see different type of vegetation like trees, bushes, grasses, birds, and there are certain kind of bioforms that are available throughout the country. So India is one of the, this is very important, India is one of the 12 mega biodiversity countries of the world. What is biodiversity? Biodiversity or biodiversity means the biology is diverse. That means we have different kinds of plants, we have different kinds of animals, and because of the diversity of the animals, say if in some place you get only deer, that may not be diverse, but you get, along with deer, you get ox, you get serpents, you get lions, and same goes with the plants. That means biodiversity. So biodiversity, in case of that biodiversity, or we take the countries, 12 countries are there in the world and India is one of them. So India occupies 10th place in the world with about 47, how many plant species we have? 47,000 plant species, different type of plants we have. And if you come to Asia, that is our continent, the continent in which we reside, we have 4th place. We are in the 4th place in terms of plant diversity. Different types of plants we have. There are 15,000 flowering plants. This constitute how much? If you take all the plants, flowering plants of the world, we constitute 6% of that total amount. That is 15,000. India has approximately 90,000 species of different animals. See how rich we are. Also we have different type of fish, whether it be freshwater fish or marine water fish. Plant community, there is certain thing which we need to understand. What is we mean by vegetation? What is we mean by natural vegetation? What is we mean by the artificial vegetation? So since we are talking about vegetation, all the content, whether it may be bush, whether it may be small plants, whether it may be trees, you combine them all and they are called as vegetation. In a place, in a certain region, that is a plant community which has grown naturally without human aid is called natural vegetation. There is a region and the things which are coming like the trees, like the big trees, like the small plants, like the bushes. It can be anything which has the, you can say plant, it comes from the plant community. Then we call it as a natural vegetation. Now you take a place on your backyard, you grow something. This is not natural vegetation. This is artificial vegetation. I hope you got the idea between natural and artificial vegetation. Natural vegetation that has been left undisturbed by humans for a long time. That means the vegetation which is virgin, that has not been touched yet. Virgin means it's not been touched yet. So the natural vegetation, that is this area is growing number of vegetation and that has been left undisturbed. There is no human intervention as of now. No human has interfered for a long time, and this is called virgin vegetation. What is this called? Virgin vegetation. So flora and fauna are these two terms that will come number of times. So flora, this is used to denote the plants. See, flora, FLO, you can just remember by the word flower. So plants of a particular region, So if I take a particular region, say this region, right? This region, say I'm taking Rajasthan region. Now the flora, that means all the plants of this region, is called flora, and all the animals species, it's fauna. From A you can take F-A-U-N-A, from A you can take animal, you can remember like this. So all the animals of this region is the fauna. This different type of flora and fauna of a region, it constitutes to the biodiversity. The biodiversity of this region, or you can take a period also, or time also. So this is what the different types of flora and fauna, that is different type of plants and different type of animals, they constitute biodiversity. What is the important factors? Because if we talk about biodiversity, how these diversity arises in terms of plants and animal, so there are three factors which we have to understand. First is the relief, that is the height. See, this has a different relief and this has a different relief. So this has a quite steepness, it has not that much of steepness. So relief is actually the steepness of a height. Climate is the we have already learned about this. So climate means the weather condition for more than 30 years. And ecosystem means the system, that is a tantra, paristhitik tantra. The ecosystem means there is an ecology, or there is a communication, there is an interdependence between the flora and fauna and others like human. They form an ecosystem. So these are the three factors of biodiversity. So let us start with the relief. What is this relief? Let me just take you there and then we'll discuss. See, relief has two things. First is the land, second is the soil. What is the land? How is the land? Land may be, say, fertile land. Land may be rough land. Land may be undulated land. Land may be woodlands, means just a grasslands, right? So every different land provides shelter for different kind of wildlife and different kind of bushes or trees or plants. See, if I say you that this is a grassland, so we have ghas or grass. So who are going to eat this? There will be a different type of wildlife, right? And on this, the grass is there. So this grass is a different kind of flora, we can say. But if you go to some other place, say you come to Kerala. Now Kerala has a wide biodiversity because the plants are quite dense. The trees are quite dense. So you'll get a different kind of animals and different kind of plants also. So the land is very important. When it comes to soil, see, everything grows on soil. So we can have different kind of soil. Say desert, if the soil is of desert type, that is, if there is balu, reth, what is going to come from them? Cactus is going to come from desert. There will be thorny bushes. If you go to some place where it is quite wet, then marshy, deltoic soils, they support mangroves. So mangroves are those plants which grow generally in the water and land area, means combined, or you can say junction of that area. This hill slopes, if you have hill slopes, see, if you have a hill slope, then the soil is too much, means the depth of the soil is quite high. So you get a canonical trees. Canonical trees are like this, like your Christmas tree. This is your canonical trees. So it depends on what kind of soil it is, that will support, because if you talk about this area, that is Rajasthan Thar desert, so it is just balu, the desert area. So you get cactus and thorny bushes. And the most important thing here is, see, if your tree is in a wetland or a lot of rain is there, so the patta or leaf will be larger size, because the water is good, and even if the water goes, it doesn't matter because water is coming. But if you go to this Rajasthan area, there will be thorn, there will be kante, there will be thorn, because you cannot, these plants cannot let their water to go out. That means they don't want their water to evaporate. So they cannot have this kind of, you can say big leaves. So they ought to have these thorns. Cactus is one of them. Now coming to the second one we discuss, see, the biodiversity is these are the factors. First is relief, then we come to the climate. Again, the temperature, the sunlight, the precipitation, this also affects the biodiversity. So if you go to a place where the temperature is quite extreme, what will you get? You will not get, say if you go to the Himalayan range, the top one, it's always snow there. What kind of tree do you expect? No tree, small grasses or nothing. But if you come to these places, these Western Ghats, these places where a lot of rain is there and the temperature is quite good, or you can say side temperate, so you get different kind of tree. So humidity in the air, precipitation, soil, all the character and extent of vegetation are determined by temperature. Temperature, if there is high temperature, you will get cactus. If you have low temperature or moderate temperature, you will get some other kind of plant. When it comes to sunlight, see, we are from 8 degree to 37 degree. There are different latitudes. We are from 68 to 97 degree longitude. So this is a very high, you can say 30 degree to the both the vertical and horizontal spread we have. So the sunlight is different. Some places get a lot of sunlight, this central region, but here sunlight is quite less. So this sunlight, because the plant, they grow because of sunlight, because sunlight is there, chlorophyll is there, they take nutrients from the soil, right? So the sunlight, the differences in the latitude, altitude, season, duration of the day, that is the duration of day in the cold area, it's quite small, so the sunlight is less. But in other places where sunlight is quite high, you'll get different kind of plants and of course animals. Now precipitation, this word is very important. Precipitation is the term, it is not rain. Precipitation is a word which is given to the content of the wind or air. That can be water, that can be snow, that can be tushar, you can say in the night time, in between water and snow, there is one more thing that is called tushar. So that precipitation, all these combined are called as precipitation. So we generally say it to be rain because most of the precipitation, it gives rise to rain only. So where the areas where we have heavy rainfall, when the rainfall is good, what we will get? There will be more plants, so there will be dense vegetation. But if the areas are having less rainfall, then what do you get? Less trees, less plants. So almost you see this area and this area, they are getting lot of rain, over 200 centimeter rain. You will get lot of trees, different species of trees and animals. But here there is less water, precipitation. Here also, Ladakh region, you will get very less, and this flora and fauna. Here Andaman Nicobar, it's always rains there, so you will get all greenery and different kinds of animals there. So precipitation is also important, and precipitation mainly we define by, in our terms, Indian terms, the coming monsoon and going monsoon, that is the advancing monsoon and the retreating monsoon. Then what is ecosystem? Ecosystem, let me formally define now the ecosystem. Ecosystem, all the plants and animals in an area, they are interdependent. Means if you have a plant, there is a food chain. See, there is a food chain. So if a plant is there or a tree is there, then some herbivore animal is going to eat it. Some carnivore animal is going to eat this herbivore animal. So they are all interdependent. Even when they die, these animals die, they will give manure to the soil, and again the plant can grow. So there is a kind of interrelated or interdependency between these plants and animals, right? And this is along with the environment, with the flora and fauna, so they form a proper system. There is a proper arrangement that God has given us, Mother Earth has given us, and this is known as ecosystem. A very large ecosystem on a land, if it has distinct different type of vegetation and animal life, this is known as biome. What is this called? Biome. So what are the importance of forests? Why do we need forest? Why are we not thinking about forest? Forest gives us everything. These are renewable sources. That means forest, you don't worry about them. They will grow themselves, they will die themselves, and they will again regrow. So they are renewable resources. And all the quality of environment, the good quality of environment or the bad quality of environment, this is created by forest also. So actually it creates always a good impact or enhancement in the quality of environment. The forest, they are responsible for modifying the local climate, because the leaves in the forest area, they give a lot of evaporation. So it modifies the local climate. And if you have a lot of trees, water is coming. The trees have roots that grab the soil, so water is not going to take it. So it controls the soil erosion also. If we have trees here, say trees here, the water will flow like this. It cannot go this side. So it regulates the stream flow also, and it provides many raw material for the industries, and also for various communities, especially who are related or dependent on the forest. The forest is giving them livelihood, food to eat, animals to eat. There are different kind of possibilities that these communities, they render it. And also you and me, we go to Shimla, we go to Manali, we go to Northeast, we go to Kashmir for what? For panoramic, for scenic view, for beauty, for you can say recreation. It controls the wind force. Trees, they control the wind force. The temperature and causes rainfall. As I just said, evaporation, because of evaporation and because of the more content of the dense forest or some other kind of forest, the wind force and temperature also depends on the forest. And it provides humus to the soil. When the plant or animal die, the soil is getting humus from what? From these dying element, the dying species. And all the wildlife which we talk about, they don't have houses like us. So they have house. What are their houses? Wildlife, they have houses as forests. So natural vegetation in India has undergone many changes. Why? Because there is a growing demand of growing population to grow different kind of crops. So cultivation of land. We want enhancement, advancement. So we want a lot of industries. So development of industries, mining also. We just want to live in buildings now, concrete jungles. So we want urbanization. So we need to cut all the trees and pastures. We now want to grow, or those animals we want to render, or we want to use those who can give us meat. Especially they use pastures. That is how we are doing everything against the nature. I hope you got the idea. So I have to give this temperature characteristics of the vegetation zone. So we have, when the temperature is about 24 degree, we have tropical vegetation zone, and the mean temperature in January is around 18 degree, and there is no frost. So I was talking about something. There is a thing, precipitation in between water and snow, that is called frost. Okay. Subtropical, 17 to 24 degree, for frost is rare. Temperate zone, 7 degree to 17 degree, and frost, sometimes snow. Alpine, snows, always snow, and it is below 7 degree. So what we talked about the sunlight. It is very important. And when we talk about the precipitation, as I just said, this precipitation, if you even talk about rainfall, this rainfall is very important. That makes the vegetation different area. Okay. Then what we are doing is, we want these forests. Forests are very important for us because they provide everything. They modify local climate, they control soil erosion, they regulate the stream flow, they support a variety of industries, and also provide livelihood for the communities, and they give us a very scenic and panoramic view. So what we have done a lot of bad things, and just because we are not aware that what is going to happen in near future for our kids, so we are just destroying it. right? So we'll talk about this in just a bit. We talked about ecosystem, I guess. So ecosystem, let me just take you through this ecosystem, what your book provides. So plants, as I said, they all, and the animal life, they are all interrelated. There is a proper interdependent and interrelated system along with the physical environment. So this is called the ecosystem. According to the Indian State of Forest report, which came in 2011, the forest cover in India is just 21.05%. It's alarming. It's alarming. We are a population, we are the second populous country on this earth after China. And by 2050, we are, or say 2030, I guess, we are going to go ahead of China. And to sustain all these, we are just having 21% of the forest cover. We need at least 40% and above forest cover, but we did just have 21%. Now, the important thing comes is the type of vegetation. What is this type of vegetation? There can be different type of vegetation depending upon the places, depending upon the latitude, depending upon the water, depending upon the soil, depending upon various characteristics which you just saw, temperature, etc. So the type of vegetations which are identified in our country, India, is first of all tropical evergreen forest. Then we have tropical deciduous forest. Then we have tropical thorn forest and scrubs. Then we have montane forest. And then we have mangrove forest. These are 5 types of forest or 5 types of different vegetation that we find in our country. What is this tropical evergreen forest? First, understand the name. It is tropical, that is, it is found in the tropical region. It is found in the tropical region. Evergreen means it will always be green. That is, if you go to that forest or you have a bird eye view, you are in the helicopter or the airplane, you see down and you will always find this kind of tree cover always there. So it will be evergreen. And forest means the combination or there are so many trees at one place, that is called forest. So these forests, why they have evergreen, why they always are evergreen? So they are restricted to heavy rainfall areas where rainfall is quite high. Let me take you to this and then we'll discuss this. Okay. See, first of all, we need to understand that why it is evergreen, because heavy rainfall areas are there. And these are the places of Western Ghats, island of Lakshadweep, Andaman Nicobar, upper parts of Assam and Tamil Nadu coast. So let me show you where we are talking about. So these tropical evergreen forests are found here, Kerala, because of the southwest monsoon. We get lot of rainfall here. Then in the month of September, October, we get lot of rain here in the Tamil Nadu coast, that is Coromandel region. So we have this kind of forest, evergreen forest. Then here, Assam, this area which gets more than 200 centimeter of forest water or rainfall, this area is having tropical evergreen forest. And of course, the land we have seen, the island, as I just said, that because of the location, because water is there and they are mountains, so always it is raining. That is why the Lakshadweep and Andaman Nicobar Islands, they get lot of heavy rainfalls. So 200 plus centimeter of rainfall, that means very short dry season, but most of the time it is raining. There you get tropical evergreen forest. The tree reach great heights. See, the tree reaches great height up to 60 meter. That is quite high. So you have all sorts of things here. 1.5 meter, these are plants, shrub layer. Then on 5 meter plants are there. Then you have young trees, 20 meters. Then you have this canopy layer. As I said, you are on the helicopter, you see the canopy. You can't see here. Even the sunlight can't come here. Then we have at 40 meters. Then you have emergent layers. These are maximum height 60 meter trees. So the height goes up to 60 meter and above. And these forests, as you see, these forests have everything. They have trees, they have everything. They have trees, they have shrubs, they have creepers, lataएं, right? So there is a multi-layer structure. Since the region is warm and wet, warm also and wet throughout the year. So you have all sorts of variety here, small one, middle one, and the bigger one. The forests appear green all the year because even if because some places, see, I will show you this. What happens if this is a forest? Some trees, because all these are trees. So if these trees shed their leaf, it doesn't matter because all other will look green. May these shed their leaf, all other look green. So they shed their leaves, but still it will be seen always green all the year. So what are the commercially important trees, that is the trading purpose or which are important for us to use, human use? And these forests having ebony, mahogany, rosewood, rubber and cinchona. So ebony, mahogany, rosewood, rubber and cinchona, these are very important trees as far as their commerciality is considered. What are the animals here in these region, these region? So what are the animals here? What do we get here? So we have elephants, we have monkey, lemur, deer. There are plenty of birds, bats, sloth, scorpion, snails. These are also found here. So let me tell you again about this tropical evergreen forest. So this is the region of tropical evergreen forest. This is a small region at the Tamil Nadu coast. This is the region where we get quite a rainfall. And this region, of course, the northeastern, this region. So we have tropical evergreen forest here. Now coming to the tropical deciduous forest. So what is the place we get tropical? I'll just come to that. So this tropical deciduous forest, if you see all these region, these are tropical deciduous forests, light green. So these are tropical deciduous because most of the Indian region has the tropical deciduous forest. So let me just take you through and I'll just explain it to you. So they are called a monsoon forest. Please understand, tropical deciduous forests are also known as monsoon forest, and they are spread over a long region. These region, they are getting rainfall from monsoon. That is why they are monsoon forest. And how much they get? Around 200 to 70 centimeter of rainfall annually. Now the most important thing of this deciduous means shedding the leaf, shedding it. So trees of these forests, they shed their leaf, they leave their leaves for about 6 to 8 weeks when it is quite high dry summer. So 6 to 8 weeks they shed their leaf. And these forests are again divided. Means if you see that this tropical deciduous forest is divided into again two parts, and this is moist and this is dry. So moist deciduous forest and dry deciduous forest. What is this moist deciduous forest? The rainfall, if it is between, so see that this TDF, that is tropical deciduous forest, has rainfall from 200 to 70. So when we have 200 to 100, this partition is known as the moist deciduous forest. Then from 100 to 70, this is known as the dry deciduous forest. So what is this moist deciduous? Moist means they have some humidity or water. So this presently we get this in the eastern part of the country, that is the northeastern state along with the foothills of Himalayas, Jharkhand, western Odisha, Chhattisgarh, and on the eastern slopes of the Western Ghat. So this is Western Ghat. So on this is eastern, this side. So eastern side of the Western Ghat, right? And the northeastern state here. Then we have Himalaya, this region, Jharkhand, Odisha, this is Odisha, and Chhattisgarh, this area.